Good morning, friends. This is Sandesh. I'm a chartered accountant, and today we'll be covering certain basic terminologies which is used in the accounting domain. The first such concept that we're going to cover is the entity. Just like you and I have a name, every business will have its own name, like Wipro, Infosys, SBI, correct? The names of the business is what we refer to as an entity. The second concept that we're going to cover today, or the second terminology, is business transaction. A transaction is an event which involves exchange of money between the two persons. For example, let's say there is a company. Let's take for example Wipro Limited. It hired an employee whose salary is 10,000. Now, this is a business transaction because it can be expressed in terms of money. Third concept, or the third terminologies that we're going to do today here, is the cash transaction. Cash transaction is a transaction which involves the receipt or payment of a cash. Now, going back to the same example, there was one company known as Wipro Limited. It hired an employee and whose salary per month was 10,000. That means Wipro Limited has to pay 10,000 to the employee. So this is a cash transaction which results in outflow of cash to Wipro Limited. Now, if you look at the other example, let's say Wipro Limited, the government has approached Wipro Limited to make a software. And if the Wipro Limited makes a software, it gets 3 lakh rupees from the government. Now, this is a cash transaction, but here there is an inflow of the cash. The next transaction is the credit transaction. Now, credit transaction is a transaction wherein inflow or the payment or the receipt of cash is not happening immediately, but it is postponed to the future date. Now, going back to the same example, let's say the employee worked in a Wipro for the month of April. So, ideally, he had to receive the salary of 10,000 from Wipro Limited for the month of April. Let's say Wipro Limited told the employee, boss, I'm short of cash now. I'll pay you the cash in the month of May. So, the cash payment is not happening in the month of April, but in the month of May. This is known as the credit transaction. Next is the capital. Capital is nothing but the money infused or money brought in by the owner into the business. Now, every business to run successfully requires certain funds, and that fund is generally contributed by the owner. Let's say Wipro Limited started with a money of 10 lakh rupees. That 10 lakh is known as the capital. Next concept is drawings. Just like money can be infused into the business by the owners, the money can also be withdrawn from the business by the same owners. So, if any money is withdrawn by the owners for their personal purpose from the business, it is known as the drawings. Let's say, for example, the owner has drawn 15,000 from the business money for his daughter's marriage. This 15,000 will be recorded as a drawings. Next one is the assets. Assets are those components held by the business for its use in the operations. Let's say there is a college. For the smooth function of the college, they'll procure various components like laptops, computers, computer desktops, projectors, etc., etc. They are known as the assets for the college. Next one is the fixed assets. Generally, assets can be broadly classified into fixed assets or current assets. Fixed assets are those assets held by the business for a period of more than 12 months. Now, going back to the same college example, the college procured laptops, projector. Do you think they're going to buy a new laptop every six months, or the purchased laptop will be used for more than 1 year? Generally, they use it for more than 1 year, right? Hence, these computers, projectors will be classified as a fixed asset. Next component is the current asset. Any asset held by the business for a period of less than 12 months is known as the current assets. The example for the current assets could be cash. Normally, no business will keep the cash idle in their books. If they have cash, they will procure certain assets like projectors, computers, or they may deposit that cash into the bank account. Hence, cash is generally considered as a current asset. Next component is the liability. Liability means to pay something. So from the business perspective, liability means the business has to pay some money to somebody else. That's what we refer to as liability. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. Thanks for watching.